What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. So, as most of us saw, Draymond Green had another little bit of an oopsie. This one, to be specific, let's take a quick look at it and bow. Why? Why? Like Nurkic sells it a little bit, man, but like just wound up clocked my man. But yeah, Draymond Green's in trouble again. Obviously, kind of took out Nurkic last night, and now we found out that he's been suspended indefinitely. He's going to have to go through some counseling and everything that the NBA is setting up. And people are frustrated with the boy Draymond, from Warriors fans to just casual basketball fans that just want to, one, see the Warriors continue to have success, and two, we just want to see Draymond Green on the court. We don't like to see basketball players not play a la John Morant right now or something, right? For things that are truly controllables. So I just saw this article get posted by Bleacher Report, and I thought it was really interesting. 5 realistic Draymond Green trades. A Draymond Green trade shouldn't be possible before this incident, we'll call it. Because I'm not going to lie, I started to think about it as well, where I'm like, hey, Steph Curry's still really good at basketball. I know Klay Thompson's struggling. Andrew Wiggins is struggling. You know, the Warriors are struggling right now. They're not in the playoffs at the moment. But Steph Curry's still capable of winning a championship and being your best player. So as Mike Dunleavy, the GM for the Warriors, right, it's your job to make sure you put the best team around him. And this is Draymond Green's third ejection of the year, right? And who knows how long he's going to be out for, but he's not helping them right now. And because he's not helping them right now, I was like, what if Mike Dunleavy makes a move? You know, Mike Dunleavy's already moved Jordan Poole and gotten Chris Paul. He's not afraid of making big moves. Maybe it's time to break up the big three. And I know that's a crazy thing to think about. That's crazy, right? It's, you compare it to like the Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan thing, right? Like they're that good, right? They've won that many championships together. That's their big three. Those are who they like to play with. But he is just like self-sabotaging them right now. And what could you get for Draymond Green? Now, we'll go into their ideas and everything, because honestly, I haven't really thought too hard about where he could go, so that's why I want to use this article. Shout out to Andy Bailey for the article. But the first question that I know will get asked is, well, what team wants Draymond Green? I think anybody wants him, because I think any GM would understand, like, hey, if you're a contending team or something, right? You know, if I'm getting Draymond Green in a trade, it's probably pissing him off that he's getting traded there. And he's going to channel that solely into basketball. Like, it's going to become his sole mission to, like, beat the Warriors and prove everybody wrong, right? So if I'm, like, any other GM, I'm not afraid of trading for Draymond Green. I'm still going to get a really good player. The question is, what do the Warriors get in return for him to help supplement, you know, their bench issues, try to bring some more shooting? And you're also just losing a legendary player if you were to do this. But yeah, let's stop wasting time. We understand the situation. Let's take a look at some ideas that they have. The Dallas Mavericks. I already know they're about to throw Grant Williams in this. The deal, Draymond Green for Grant Williams, Rashawn Holmes, and a 2025 second round pick. I'm pulling up Basketball Reference right now because I want to make sure that I have all my stats accurate and everything. No, I don't just have every single stat memorized or anything, but okay, he's still shooting the lights out so far this season. So Grant Williams started out the season really hot. It looks like he's kind of continued on with that. He's shooting about 6 threes a game, hitting about 43% of them. That's awesome, right? That's exactly what the Mavericks needed. The Mavericks have been a good basketball team too. He's been a really nice pickup for them. It was a move that was kind of questioned at the beginning, but it's paid out well for them. He's having his best season probably ever. The rebounding numbers are a little low, but I also don't think that's a priority of Dallas. I know that they kind of have this goal of, hey, we're going to go to 120 points both ways. And what I mean by that is, like, they're going to allow 120 and we're going to go to 120, but we have the more clutch players, so we're going to win. So that's probably a bit of their philosophy with that. But I think about Grant Williams, right? What does he do for the Warriors, right? He does a lot of the similar things, right? He's a kind of tough guy. He's not really represented that way, but kind of the undersized 4 that can shoot a little bit. He can pass a little bit, can rebound a little bit. He's obviously not Draymond Green, but he's available, right? And he's a little bit younger. So I could see why that's an enticing offer for them. And I would imagine he'd actually come off the bench. I would imagine if they move Draymond, that Kuminga is probably getting the nod to start. As far as getting like a Rashawn Holmes, I actually think that'd be a really nice pickup for them. I haven't seen like Rashawn Holmes really play since his injury, and everything. So I don't know how explosive he still is, like how big and bulky he still is and everything like that. But just adding a little bit more size to the Warriors is always a nice thing. He's like a legit true center, not like a Dario Saric center. And I can't tell you the last time besides James Wiseman they've actually had another guy like that on the team. And you pick up a second round pick. If you're a Warriors fan, I know that doesn't look like a fun trade or anything, but if you're not getting Draymond Green, like, it's not the worst return for him. So then what, you look at this if you're Dallas and you say, okay, essentially we're trading Grant Williams for Draymond Green. That's championship experience. The defense is definitely a lot better. The passing is definitely a lot better. You get toughness, right? You get respect. You got someone that's going to work his tail off, hopefully fit in that culture. You're going to lose some shooting. I don't know how seamless of a fit that is, but I also wouldn't put it past Mark Cuban to try and make a move like that. All right, next one, the Indiana Pacers. This was the first team that I kind of had come to mind. Draymond Green for Buddy Hield and Jalen Smith. Ooh, just off the top of my head, I actually really like this move. I like this one a lot better than the first one. One, because I don't want to trade Buddy Hield if I'm on the Pacers. I really don't. But obviously he like did request that trade or whatever, but he's just still kind of playing it out. So that is what it is. But, you know, Buddy Hield to the Warriors just sounds awesome, right? That just sounds like Buddy's putting up 18, 19 points a game and just isn't being contested at all because he's running around all these screens, getting open, right? He's got Steph Curry setting him pin downs or something like that. That sounds awesome. It would be great for Buddy Hield's career. They also pick up Jalen Smith, who's like a really underrated player. We've talked about him on the channel before in like our underrated players series. As you can see here, 10 points a game. The 3-point percentage, it's at 66% right now, but he's only shooting 1.5 a game. But still, capable shooter and everything. He gets rebounds. He's a solid defensive player, and he's a big body, right? He's a legit like center. I know he's normally played power forward in his career, but he could legit play center for them. And I think that he'd fit in well with their offense because he's actually like not too bad, like moving with the basketball or anything. So going to get those handoffs going with like a Curry, a Thompson or something like that, be a moving screen guy, not moving screen the penalty, but like moving, setting a screen, things like that. So I actually think that return for Draymond Green would be pretty sick. And then if you're the Pacers in this, right? Now the Pacers obviously, like I said, probably don't want to trade Buddy Hield, but if they had to, getting Draymond Green to kind of say, hey, here's this young team that's like starting to play well. Let's bring in a guy that's going to start to continue to push this culture in the right direction. He fits in with that Pacers culture. My buddies over there always tell me like, yeah, it's pretty hardcore there. It's not quite Heat culture, but it's probably the next closest thing. And I just feel like Draymond Green would fit in really well there. I'd like to see him and Halliburton kind of play off each other. I think that'd be really interesting. And I don't know. I just think you'd get like such a big culture boost by having him there. I really like that idea. Alrighty, the Cleveland Cavaliers. What is the thought here? Draymond Green and a top 5 protected 2027 first round pick for Jared Allen and Sam Merrill. I mean, if you're the Warriors, like, hell, I'll take Jared Allen. I'm not too concerned about that. Sam Merrill's kind of irrelevant in that, but I'm confused. Why do we really think Jared Allen's an available player? They say it would force the move of Evan Mobley to what appears to be his more natural position without sacrificing the defensive identity that made this team so good. A front line of Green and Mobley would be smaller, but it would also be a little more switchable. I don't know if I understand this for Cleveland. I think you got a good thing going with this. I don't really want to discuss this one too much more because yeah, we can all say that Jared Allen would be a better player than Draymond Green at this point. I don't think there's any question about that. Obviously he's been injured a little bit before, and this would give him a true like legit all-star potential caliber center, but I don't know. I don't really buy this one. What do we have next? This was the other team I was expecting. Okay, the Lakers, Draymond Green for Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes. I don't hate this idea. I don't. I think this actually gives them a starter to play the 4 over Kuminga. I'd feel actually more comfortable putting Hachimura there over Kuminga. I've talked about before in other videos, I want to see Rui Hachimura play on a team where he can have a little bit more responsibility and be a little bit more free-flowing in the offense. The Lakers, kind of run a lot of things through LeBron, AD. D'Lo's got the ball a lot. Austin Reeves is running a ton of pick and rolls there. So there isn't a ton of ball handling responsibilities for Hachimura, but in the times I see him operating so well with the ball. He creates space really well for like how big and wide he is. So I'd be curious to see him in more of a free-flowing offense. We see him in like FIBA ball too. Obviously, he's playing with Japan, and there's only so many truly capable players on there when they go against the elite teams. But I feel like there's a lot more potential there, and I'd be really curious to see him with that many floor spacers around him and the opportunity to just have the basketball. I think that'd be really interesting. And then Jackson Hayes, again, kind of a goofy dude. It's hard to be a goofy dude when you play for the Warriors, so I'm not too worried about that. But again, it gives him a true center, at least on the roster. That seems to be where a lot of these trades are kind of leaning towards, is that, hey, Saric is nice and everything, and he's providing them a ton of value this year, but we still want them to have somebody that can rebound the basketball and protect the rim a little bit, because they still don't really have a rim defender. Sorry, Kevon Looney. Just nobody's avoiding Kevon Looney. Jackson Hayes might make someone think once or twice, maybe. That's about it, though. But it is something. Losing Draymond Green to that and giving him to a rival like the Lakers, I don't see that happening. But man, wouldn't it be cool to see Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, and LeBron on a team? That'd be pretty cool. All right, and what's the last one here? The Sacramento Kings. Yeah, I could see that already. What are we doing here? Draymond Green for Harrison Barnes, JaVale McGee, a 2024 second-round pick, and a 2025 second-round pick. So in this case, the Warriors are taking back players that are already familiar with their system in Harrison Barnes and JaVale McGee, players that have had a lot of success with the Warriors. Harrison Barnes, just true pros pro. He gives them like another wing with some legit size and some defensive capabilities. How has Harrison Barnes been as a shooter this year? Harrison Barnes is also like the king of getting NBA contracts. Man, I also want to know what his career earnings are, but let's go check this out. 38% again. Yeah, no. Still doing his thing. I want to scroll down here and see what like his career earnings are. Oh my god, $166 million. He just keeps finding ways to get like $20 million contracts. I'm happy for him. Like, dude is consistent. Like, look at him. He's been a double-digit scorer like his entire career, and he's extremely consistent and efficient. I love it. But yeah, if you were to lose Draymond Green, you would get back two pros, like legitimate pros that have like championship caliber, like pedigrees and stuff, and Barnes and McGee. I like that. And then if you throw Draymond Green on that team, does he come off the bench, I guess? Because I don't think you're playing Keegan Murray and Draymond Green together, and I don't think you necessarily want to bench Keegan Murray. Like, he looks like he's trying to take another step this year, especially with like his ball handling and everything, and he seems like a little more athletic, but we're not talking about that right now. I understand the fit in terms of like, hey, we have a lot of like younger players that don't have a lot of winning NBA moments, so bringing in a guy like that makes a lot of sense with Coach Brown, who's familiar with Draymond, right? You'd have a familiar face there. You could continue to build on the culture that you have there, but I don't necessarily understand the basketball fit, but you're not giving up a ton to get him. So maybe for the Kings that'd be worth it. If you're the Warriors, I just don't know. Those aren't bad players to get back, but you know, JaVale, this is probably his, I'd have to imagine this is his last season, man. I'd have to imagine. Like, eventually the dude's going to slow down somewhat, but Harrison Barnes is a nice one too, but again, who knows how much longer he has, but maybe they don't care because the Warriors just only have so much time left. But if we were to look at a trade that I think was like the most interesting, I'd say maybe that Lakers one, but I'd say this Pacers one was the most interesting to me, the Buddy Hield Jalen Smith combo. But y'all let me know what you think. I'm always curious to hear what we're thinking. Let me know too if you even think they should consider moving Draymond Green, especially if you're a Warriors fan. Like, let me know, because I've been seeing a lot of responses from people saying they're even sick of it when they're Warriors fans. But hey, always appreciate the time and everything. Love discussing these things. The NBA never sleeps. There's always new wrinkles. But thanks as always, guys. See ya.